Welcome to Real Card Talk with Card-iac Kid, my road to 10,000 sports card listings. I am probably a little bit less than halfway there. I have about 4,000 listings that I've been doing over the past 6 months or so. I'm at about 1,200 sales, and really a lot of that's just kind of taken traction over the past couple of months because the beginning was... it was the beginning. It wasn't very good. I did things that were stupid. I don't know how to do things. Made mistakes. Didn't know where to sell. I sell on eBay. I sold on Facebook. But which one of those are good? Which one of those are bad? And, what's the best way to do it? So basically I decided I'd start a channel, teach people how to do this because people are quite often afraid of asking questions like these and many more because... I don't know. Quite frankly, there's a lot of people in this industry that are just not nice. So people are afraid to ask, and when they do ask, they just get brutalized for no reason. I don't know. I think it's because a lot of people are just kind of unhappy, and this is a good way for them to take out their dissatisfaction with life on other people and make themselves feel good. So, but at the same time, I know a lot of people collect cards because they are having problems, and this is kind of their take me away, Calgon, take me away moment where, it gives them a little bit of happiness. Let's be clear. We're a bunch of guys collecting cards of young men. So I don't know what that says about us, but we all enjoy it. So first and foremost, I am Christian, the kid in Card-iac Kid. So as I said, this is my road to 10,000 sports card listings on eBay. So I've sold, like I said, a ton on Facebook. I've sold quite a bit on eBay. And I don't sell that much on Facebook anymore because there are a lot of scams. Kind of like I was saying, the sales get really personal and people get really aggressive. And I think it's just easier to kind of go faceless and nameless in an eBay store, which of course, my own stupidity right now, I'm putting my face out there with my name. So I don't really know what my point is. But I'm here to help. I'm here to talk to you guys. And hopefully we can make this enjoyable because, it's a hobby. It's supposed to be fun. And that's what I want it to be. So, they always say you've got to do what you love. And for me, my career was 35 years in the restaurant industry. And that sucked. And I have to say that. That was an ass beating day in, day out. 70, 80, 90 hours a week, every holiday, every weekend. And it was not fun. I had a great time in many aspects of it, but it's definitely not what I want to be doing anymore. So this is actually what I really love. And I did this when I was a kid, when I was, 10 years old, 12 years old. I still remember all the cards I got rid of, which, we look back and we're like, were those worth anything? And maybe they were, maybe they weren't. For me, probably the first time I really got interested in cards was because of my dad, because his neighbor was actually Pee Wee Reese in Brooklyn. So he grew up with Pee Wee Reese from the Brooklyn Dodgers. And, he used to tell me stories about all the different things they did. And, if somebody hit a home run, Kellogg's would send them a case of cereal. And Pee Wee would give the cereal to my dad. And, he told me about how Pee Wee was roommates with Jackie Robinson when nobody else wanted to be roommates with him. And it's just, stories about the old baseball, just the heritage of the game and what it was like back then. And, we had a Pee Wee Reese jersey, like a real jersey. And this thing was wool and it was hot. And how they played in this, no idea. But it was, it's a piece of history. Somewhere around here, I have a handwritten letter from Pee Wee to my dad when he was a kid. Pee Wee was off, I think he was from Kentucky. And he was in Kentucky, and he wrote my dad a letter, which was the coolest thing. And my mom actually had that framed with one of Pee Wee's baseball cards from back then, 1951, 52, something, I don't remember. And but it's just cool as hell. It's a piece of history. So, that stuff's fun. And... So, fast forward 40 years later, here I am collecting cards. And as you can see behind me, I am a fairly large Ellie De La Cruz, Paul Skeens fan. I know you're not supposed to collect pictures, but I do anyway. So What are you going to do? Ellie De La Cruz was actually the one who really got me started in cards again because, as they say, he is electric and he is amazing. Like, I'll tell you what, watching him, it started something again where I really just wanted to get back in this hobby, and I did, and I was terrible at it, and I did some really stupid things, and I spent too much money, and I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was buying. I bought a bunch of wax and ripped and lost my ass on that because wax is not a good strategy for building a business. It certainly is fun though, and if you use wax as entertainment purposes, then yeah, it's fun. Do it. And if you're new to the hobby, you probably don't even know what wax is. And wax is when you open boxes that you buy at the store. So it's called wax. So ripping wax. But then you get into breaks, and breaks are fun, and breaks are also a terrible investment unless you just hit. So I've done all of that. And really, I just want to start this so we can kind of go through things. I'm going to touch on a bunch of topics just very briefly today. And then I'm going to be making videos about each one of those topics. And we'll go into everything deeper, and we'll answer questions. And really, I just want to be here to help people get through it, help people get started, help people get to the heart of the hobby, and have fun doing it, because I just, all the negativity and all that other stuff, it's just not worth it. It's not fun. So for me, this is fun. This makes me happy on a daily basis, and I really love selling cards now. I like buying lots. I like meeting the people who are out there flipping. I mean, for me, like, I deal in cards that are pretty much $500 down to $2 because I don't deal with the $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 cards. That's just not my thing. And you have to invest a lot of money to flip one card. And if that card takes you a week, a month, 2 months to flip, you're just sitting on inventory that you can't let go for a lower price because then you lose. And it's just difficult. So what I've found for me is buying lots, and you just turn and burn on those cards, and you can make money, and you can make a lot of money, but you've got to keep finding lots, because like I have lots that I've been selling for over a year now, and I know this is my 6 months in, but at the beginning, a year ago, when I was just trying to figure it out, like I bought a lot, not a lot. It was about 110 binders stuffed. I mean, full of everything from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s up to 2018, because the gentleman who had the collection, he passed away in 2018, and his wife didn't know what to do with it, and I found the collection at a thrift shop, and the thrift shop had no idea what to do with it, so they asked me would I go through it and buy it, sell it, and do what I did. So, that's what I did. I bought it. I think I paid $300 for it. And I have definitely made my money back. I haven't found anything ridiculous in it, but I found, like 18 or 19 Joe DiMaggio promo cards from some bank. I can't even remember what it is, but I'll show you that in another video. But, I found 18 or 19 of those, and I sell each one of those for $9 or $10. So, you're making your money back just on those cards. Did I find anything just crazy where I'm like, oh my God, that's a $5,000 Mickey Mantle or something like that? Absolutely not. I found a nice Yadier Molina pre-rookie card when he was in the minor leagues. So I found 2 of those, which was actually cool. That was one of the only cards. Well, I found 2. And I had 1 graded, and that is the only card I've ever graded, and I will not grade again because I'm not a big grading fan. I don't like it. It's too much money. It takes too much time, and you have no idea what the card's going to come back and the consistency. But again, that's a story for another time. That's a different video. So overall, my trip to 10,000 will start being documented today. Like I said, I'm right at about 4,000 listings right now. It was pretty slow and go at the beginning because I was just listing on eBay, and I was doing each listing individually, which is monotonous, and it is not fast. So I remember seeing commercials from Card Dealer Pro, Card Dealer Pro this, Card Dealer Pro that. By the way, I'm not sponsored by anybody. Nobody pays me to say Card Dealer Pro, but I'm just using it myself. And I saw a video about a guy who was, he was using Card Dealer Pro, but he doesn't use it with a scanner because I'm not buying a scanner quite yet. And quite frankly, I'm not a big fan of the way the cards look in the scanner pictures. I think they look a little flat. I put mine in a whatever those lighted boxes are called, and I take pictures that way. I take front and back. All my listings have front and back pictures, and I store everything in lots of 50. So I take 50 pictures. Actually, I take 100 pictures because I do front and back, and I can do the 100 pictures in about 6.5 minutes. And currently I am on Card Dealer Pro, whatever level gives me 1,100 AI scans or AI titles or whatever you want to call them. So for me to do all that, it doesn't take me more than a couple hours, 3 hours max in a month. And then I post, just religiously all those. I'll take all the pictures over a 2 or 3 day period, and then all month I'll just post. That way you stay consistent with eBay, posting every day, and you're not actually building and taking pictures every day. You've already got everything already in Card Dealer Pro in, 20, 22 different lots for the 1,100 cards. And you just post a little bit a day. Even if you just post 5 or 10 a day, it keeps you consistent on eBay because eBay does like consistency. You have to continuously post if you want to get any traction. So that is something we will also go through. There's lots of different things. I mean, shipping's a big pain in the neck. Shipping's a big scary thing that nobody knows about. And you've got to figure that out, whether you're selling on Facebook, whether you're selling on eBay. eBay, once you understand the shipping, is very easy. And I'll walk you through that. Also, if you're selling on Facebook or anyone else and you need to ship, a lot of people go to the post office, and that is so expensive. So you don't want to do that. You want to go, I use Pirate Ship. I do not get paid by Pirate Ship. I just use Pirate Ship because it saves me money and it's super easy. So I ship either through eBay, the eBay standard envelope for any card under $20. A lot of people will tell you, oh, I don't do that. I will never do eBay standard shipping because it's garbage. And I'm like, because it's 74 cents up to $1.32. And, for me, because people say they always use USPS, whatever shipping, that's $5, $6, $7. And I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. Because if you're selling a $2, $3, $4 card and then charging $5, $6, or $7 for shipping, why would anybody buy that from you? So I always look at the people that say, I will never use eBay standard envelope shipping. Or they're the people that sit there and tell you, I don't watch TV. It's like, shut up. Who cares? One, yes, you do. Or two, nobody cares. So that was my little mean moment that I'll have for a second because, I don't know, that bothers me. Anyway, so shipping through eBay, shipping through Pirate Ship, pirateship.com, works wonders. I mean, you save so much money doing it that way, and it's quite honestly the easiest way to do it. So we'll go through different ways of selling on Facebook, getting in different groups, because that is something you definitely have to do. If you're selling cards from particular teams or particular people, I'm definitely in a Paul Skeens group. I'm in Ellie De La Cruz groups. But if you sell a lot of Shohei, or you sell Freddie Freeman, or you sell Will Smith, you want to join Dodgers groups. So you just want to kind of look around, and as you're selling, you want to find, how can I get the most traction for the card that I have in hand? Whether that's joining the individual site for a person that's really big, and it has to be a really big person because, Will Smith is not going to have his own site. Maybe I'm wrong, but you join a Dodger site to sell him. And so it's all the little things you have to worry about and the little things you have to think of to get the most traction. So what else? You've got to deal with PayPal. You've got to deal with Venmo. Do you want to use Cash App? Do you want to use Zelle? Those are all little ins and outs. And do you want to be giving people your personal email address? Because usually that's what's attached to those accounts, or you've got to give them your phone number. So for me, I set up a special email just to use for PayPal, Venmo, and things like that. So I don't have to give people my regular email. We'll talk about buying lots, buying collections from people, what to buy, what to stay away from. Because, and also you're going to run into people who, they have a collection of thousands and thousands and thousands of cards from the junk wax era, and they have no idea that those cards are worth nothing. They're worth a lot sentimental wise, but as far as financially, they're worth nothing. And they will argue with you, and they will tell you that these rookie cards are worth thousands of dollars, and you're just like, it's not. Like, as much as I would love it to be worth thousands of dollars, it's just not. And I'm sorry to say that, and you just kind of have to let them down easy. And there are people who get super angry about it and don't believe you and think you're trying to scam them. But, I can walk away knowing that I'm being honest with them, and they will eventually find out that they are not worth what they think they are, unfortunately. Like, I remember I worked at a card shop a little while ago. I worked at a card shop to kind of help learn the industry and help do this. And this guy called and said he wanted to pay his property taxes for the year, which was going to be about $10,000-$12,000. And he was going to use this Michael Jordan card that he found in his attic or something. Anyway, it turned out to be like a 1990 Michael Jordan card. He thought it was going to be massive, and he thought it was going to be worth a fortune. And I looked it up, and it was like worth $22. And, I hated to break that news to him, but at the same time, it's unfortunate. Those cards just aren't worth what you think they are or what they could be worth. And those are the little problems you're going to have when you just get started. Even when you're a little bit in. I mean, the energy starts pumping through your brain, and you see these things, you see these cards, and you remember that from when you were a kid, or you're younger and you've just heard about them, but they're just not worth it. So we'll get into organization, because that is super important. You'll see on my blue boxes behind me and eBay cards, and I had so many different ways at the beginning of how I used to organize them so I could find them when I was selling them. I started off with A through Z, and then that just got out of hand because I would have like 150, 200 cards in the S pile. And, quickly I found out my S pile was actually stood for stupid, because my system was so bad. And then, so I started pulling very big players out of the alphabetized models. And, like in the T's, I would take out all the Mike Trout cards. In the O's, I would take out Shohei. And, I would start taking out people. So I have, half my collection was separated out in big players. And then the other half was separated out in alphabetical sections. And then I also had things, because I sell mostly baseball. But when I do buy collections, I do end up with football, hockey, basketball. Currently, I don't know anything about basketball. I have so many basketball cards that I have not gone through. I probably have 20,000 basketball cards that I have not gone through, because I know like 7 players. And if those 7 players weren't in that collection, I just put them aside for now. But, then I'll get Star Wars cards. I'll get Marvel cards. And those have actually been very lucrative. I bought one collection, and the guy had about 400 Star Wars cards in it, and I am selling those religiously. So they just go and go and go, and it's really easy. So, but I found little tricks on how you do that. So, like with Star Wars cards, from what I have heard and what I have read, is Star Wars collectors, they look for the card number rather than the title. And they can just quickly zip down eBay and look for the number. And when they find the number, or, they just do a search for the number, it's so when you do Star Wars cards, you want to put the card number first, then the title, and blah, blah, blah down the road. So, I don't really know what my major point was with that. Oh, so anyway, how I organize the cards. So I have it separated into, at the beginning it was alphabetized football, alphabetized baseball, and that was the majority of what I had. And then I had alphabetized hockey, basketball, and then I just had a Star Wars section and a Marvel section. But now it has kind of changed where I use lots. So I started doing A01, A02, A03, A04, blah, 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 all the way up. And so each lot now has 50 cards in it. And it is much easier to stay organized that way. And I'll show you that when we do the video. But yeah, so you're going to have little things as you go through where you're just going to keep trying new things until you find something that really works for you. And, that's how I do my cards. And I do basically all raw cards. I really don't do a lot of graded cards. I don't buy them. I don't sell them. I end up with some here and there, but it is like 1% of my inventory. So that's just something I'm not big into, as I mentioned earlier. And, down the road, we'll talk about, like I said, ripping wax. We'll talk about breaks. We'll talk about how those things are just, in my opinion, they should be used strictly for entertainment. Because I love ripping wax. I mean, it is so much fun. And it is, you have the hope. It's a lottery ticket. I mean, basically, a card shop is nothing but a big, giant lottery ticket store where you're just hoping when you scratch off the box, that is what you're looking for. But, I personally, I have never hit anything. I am the unluckiest person who rips wax in the world. So, I am going to end up with some Mel-Ott card that is not even shiny or pretty. It's numbered out of 7 million, and it's half ripped and has 3 bent corners. That's what I get when I rip. So, but still, it's fun, and I like doing it. Anyway, overall, what this channel is going to be about is just having fun with the hobby, how to get through the hobby, whether you're collecting, whether you're buying and selling, whether you are buying and selling to support your habit, or whether you are buying and selling to make this a business. I want to go through all of it with you, and I want to tell you about the stories I have and the things I've gone through, the things I've learned, the mistakes I've made. And, I kind of want to build a community around it too, so people can ask questions and people can find out real answers and they're not going to get abused. And quite frankly, if you're going to sit in the comments and abuse people, I'll just pop you right out. Not because I have control issues or anything like that, but it's just not necessary. So have fun in this group and have fun in these comments. And I'll try to get to everyone. I do have children that I have to take care of who are headed off to college. And so I do have a life outside of this channel, but I do also love my life inside this channel. So I'll be there as much as I can. So here I am. This is the beginning. And what I'd like from you guys, if you have any questions, if you have any things you really want to talk about, because there's plenty of topics that we can talk about and we can have, vigorous debate about. Which definitely is going to be grading cards. What's going on with PSA right now? The fact that there's a lot of cases going on right now. We'll talk about the fact that people, they think ripping wax is a good thing to do. And, when you do hit big. And, you can definitely open any box and hit a $5,000 card, which is certainly good for you. So we can talk about anything. So in the comments down below, start giving me some topics you want to talk about. I kind of know what I want to talk about, but anything that seems fun and interesting, I'll jump into. And thank you for joining me. Right now, like I said, we're around 4,000 listings on the road to 10,000. And we will just see how it goes and see how messy this road gets and how profitable and hopefully fun this road will be. So thank you for joining me. We will talk soon.